All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Again, as I always start all my live streams, oh shoot, my mic. There we go. For those of you who are going to be watching this back, we are currently about 13 minutes away from news release. So I'm about to see what we can do to adjust here, see if we can get in a trade. Didn't take a trade yet this morning, but I'm going to show what I was doing to mark things up. So Discord is going a little crazy, so I want to see what's going on there. Today I'm trying to go early before we. I haven't seen your journal. Did I get? I only have a few months worth, but I'm waiting to hear from you. Okay, so I'm just responding to Abdul. If you're watching this, I'm responding to you. I'm live right now. LOL. So yeah, I'm just waiting for some people to get in here, responding to the Discord. In fact, let me show you guys what's going on. Show you guys a little bit what's happening with my people in the Discord. So over here, we talk about trading ideas. We talk about the Forex Funder. We talk about a lot of different things, as you can see. So if you guys haven't joined the Discord, join the Discord. Vert said, I'm here. Sup, guys? Slizzy said, what's up, guys? It's going to be a good day, man. It's going to be a good day. We got news releases. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. It's going to be a good day. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to see you guys. Glad to have you guys back in the chat. I'm just responding to some of these guys. Somebody asked a question about, yeah, it's happening again. I'm live right now. I'm going to say, hop on so we can talk about it. Because this guy was saying earlier about how, like, yo, the way, price is looking right now, he's thinking of sells. And look what happened today, guys. Bloodbath. I didn't take any trades, okay? Did not take any trades at all. This that you see here was my mock-up for the morning, but I didn't take it. Yo, what's good? Yo, Mozart was good, babe was good. Ryuzaki, late stream. We're actually a little early. We usually do like 10 o'clock, so we're kind of early today. Sometimes I'll do 9:30. But we still haven't agreed to an official time. This is crazy. But anyhow, guys, so far this morning was a bloodbath, okay? I marked up my 15-minute zone. I was anticipating price to give me my move. It came in here, just went absolutely ballistic and then tanked, okay? So, you know what I mean? Like, nothing really going on here. It's come into this zone and broken this gap as well. It's violated this gap. So I don't really have... where can I get the Discord link? Oh yeah, let me shout out to you, bro. Yesterday I forgot, so let me not do that today. Invite people, copy, and let me go back real quick. All right, I'm gonna post it in the chat real quick. All right, this is the Discord link, everybody. If you're new, join the Discord. We have the best community. Everybody, Mozart, all of you guys who are in the Discord, bro, vouch for it. The best. We share trade ideas. We talk about what's going on with these prop firms. Everybody's super helpful, polite. So Slizzy joined the Discord. RP said, hello, new here. Welcome. We love everybody who shows up. We are a great community. Like I was saying, we're going to have a lot of fun today looking at what's going to happen with the news release and all these different things. So yeah, man, let me show you guys what I was looking at. So this morning I marked up, you guys, and bear with me, okay? These big like red areas and stuff like that, they're all from here, okay? So areas that we have marked up already on these live streams and in the Discord and stuff to be an area of significance. And as you can see, as soon as price came into this area, we started looking for other things that price could use to go down. We marked up this gap, and what did price do? Even for like a 9:30 release, price shot up into here and is shooting down significantly. Yesterday we entered a trade on NAS. Oh, it looks like it's about to hit TP. This is the trade we took yesterday. It's doing fairly well. We did another one on GBP the other day. That was this right here. We took that trade. And then yesterday, one of the members I think it was Abdul. Shout out to Abdul. Abdul gave us some really good setups yesterday. And so we took a couple of those trades. I actually have some on like one of my demo accounts or like challenges, the really small accounts. I have it running just to see how it performs. But yeah, man, that's what we're looking at. So for here, as you guys can see, I've marked up this yellow zone. I talked to you guys about news and how price goes from zone to zone. And I said that when before news hits, price will like consolidate a little bit. So just like this, guys, let me get rid of some of this here just to make it easier. Okay, cool. So price will consolidate a little bit and then it's going to expand. And then the real move is after that, right? So you can see here that price was consolidating. It went to this zone. Remember, I told you, if you notice that price is like, let's say, going down before a news release or some big volume expansion, it goes the other way. So what happened was price was going sideways like this, right? And then what happened? It started to go down, and then right around 9:30, you can see it pushes up. Okay, we get this big volume push, and price goes into the zone that I marked up, and now it's here. And you see I had these yellow zones marked because I was anticipating that if news broke, it was gonna come into this area and push back up. Okay, I taught this the other day on one of the lives about how to trade the news. I don't trade it. This is not a signal, and this is not financial advice, but I'm saying that you can actually start to see, what, especially with like indices, before news and like big volume events happen, price will literally consolidate. It'll push to one side to use as a trampoline to go towards the next. But if price is meant to go up, it usually does this, comes down, and then this is the real move. Okay, we never really know what the market's going to do. For all we know, it might just retrace a little bit and shoot down and continue down. But so far, it's starting to play out the way that I was anticipating. So that's how we kind of like, well, that's how I trade the news. So if this setup was really clean, I'd have already been in this trade. But I didn't see anything too convincing, so I kind of let it be. Let me get rid of some of these gaps here. You can see we also have this gap that was marked up. Look at this, to perfection. I was waiting for this on the 15-minute for price to come down to this level, right, to this gap here, because he used it before, and look what happened. Price touches this gap and shoots up. All right, so at least over here on this channel, on these streams, we are, you know, we do our best to be accurate as to which zones really move, really take off. But so far this morning, I haven't taken a trade. I kid you not, guys, from this morning, as soon as I opened the chart, I got to the charts like 7 or 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So this is 9. I was all the way like right here. I looked at the situation from here and I said, I don't think I'm going to be able to trade today. I could just tell. We have news, right? So let me back up a bit so you guys can see the news filter. You see my news indicator right here? It says that this is 2 o'clock my time, Eastern Standard Time, we have FOMC. But if you look at it at 10:30 or 10 o'clock, sorry, at 10 o'clock, where are we at? Right here. At 10 o'clock, we also have NFP annual revisions. Okay, so in 6 minutes. So I looked at all this. I'm like, all those times are close to 9:30, and 9:30 is a really good spot for me to catch really good scalps and really good trades. But because of all this mess, you know how these prop firms are. You trade anywhere near there, and they're gonna wait till you're getting a payout, and as soon as you're getting a payout, they're like, oh, looks like you traded at news, and then, you know what I mean, there goes your payout. So I just don't trade anywhere close to news bracket or time frame so that I can avoid any issues. Professor said, howdy guys, glad to make it on here today. Glad to have you. Welcome back, Professor. K-Dot said, didn't realize you were trading today. K-Dot, yeah, I trade almost every day except Tuesdays, and I'm patient with my setup, so I don't take a trade every day, but I'm on the charts every single day. And so far, we're trying to go live every day. We're going to be starting a Forex challenge. So those of you who are new here, I only trade indices, US 30, SPX, NAS 100. But the family in the chat were like, you know, in the Discord, like, bro, try Forex. So we're going to be doing Forex. And you guys, I have 2 accounts at the Forex Funder. One of them is a 10K account. The other one's a 100K account. The 100K account, I'm doing the series on, but the 10K account, I literally just throw the most dumb setups in there just to see what happens. So we can actually use that to do the challenge so I'm going on vacation in about 5 or 6 days for a week, taking my wife out for her birthday. Gonna have a lot of fun. When I get back, what I'm planning to do is to start that Forex series, and for like the next 30 days, maybe even 2 months, we're going to trade that account and see what we can do with it. So we got a lot of interesting things coming up. Not to mention, I'm also going to be doing a giveaway soon because I hit 1K. So I'm debating on what to do. I'm probably going to ask the family in the Discord what the best option is, and we'll take it from there. Alan Mugg said, let's go. Yeah, let's go. Welcome back, baby. Alan Mugg was good. Good to have you guys here. So anyhow, we are trading this morning. You know what I mean? We are looking at some stuff. We have 4 minutes before, you know, what's it called? News releases, right? So I'm just looking at these zones that I marked up earlier. Okay, as you guys can see, you see all these little boxes here. These were all areas of consolidation that happened in the past. And if you notice, this entire zone right here, this entire region right here had a bunch of them. Okay, so this gave me a good indication that price was gonna somewhat come into this level. You see what I'm saying? Somewhere here, because of all the consolidation that was here. Remember I told you guys about the consolidation before news and news going from zone to zone? These are some of the factors I look at when I'm looking at a zone. So I knew that price was gonna tap into somewhere here before it goes back up. And then I had this 15-minute gap that I said, okay, if price comes to this area and shows me what I need to see, I was gonna take the trade. Unfortunately, price hasn't given me my pattern. So guess what I'm doing? I'm sitting on my hands. Okay, no FOMO over here, guys. We don't rush into trades. We don't go, oh man, look at all this. We don't do this. We don't say, oh my gosh, if I had just gotten here, I'd already be at almost a 1 to 3. Oh no. Or I just got I don't know if you guys heard that alert. I think there we go, guys. We finally hit TP on NAS. So I'm going to actually post this in the Discord real quick. Let me take a quick picture, show everybody that we just hit TP. Let me go to the Discord real quick. Where are we at? Right here. I'm going to Discord. Go to trading ideas. Oh, I'm already in trading ideas. So yeah, let me post real quick. You know what? Let me do this after, actually. Let me just focus here real quick because you guys are here to see some trading. So let me do that after. But this hit TP. We took this yesterday outside of the time frame that I usually trade. I trade 8 to 11. We put in 2 positions right here. Let me just show you guys real quick. We had 2 positions, okay? The first position you can see right here. Okay, we entered here just so we can catch some of the move. This was for a 1 to 2. Second position was right here. This one was for a 1 to 4. Okay, and that hit TP as well. So that's looking really, really good. Yesterday, I believe it was Abdul FX. He was like all the way up here in his entries, like right here. So he's deep in profit right now. But he also had another position that he told us about yesterday. I think it was like right here, and the stops for that was about right there. So right now you've still made at least a 1 to 2, let's say, if you've entered at that point. Anyhow, I digress. Going back to this, so we have news in about 2 minutes. I'm very curious to see what happened, only because the expansion at 9:30 was already crazy. Let me show you guys what I mean. It looks a little bit civilized because of how the chart has adjusted itself. But prior to the news release, this is what the candles were looking like. Nothing too big. Okay. Nothing too big, nothing too crazy. All right. 924. Look what happens at 925. Look at this gap. Look at this. This made me know we were going to fly towards the upside. And because I know, indices so well, there's a lot of times where I tell myself, if I get in a trade right now, I'm going to make a quick scalp. But trading is about being disciplined, guys. It's how you can consistently make your money and, grow your accounts and get payouts and stuff like that. So I try not to practice those things because they can become bad habits. But 925 hits, price skips, comes down a little bit. And then as you can see, 929, price shoots up again. Look at this. This is just regular momentum on US 30. This is not a news release. That's why I tell you guys, like, if you learn to trade indices, it's equivalent to like a news release for some pairs. I'm going back to the chart because we have 1 minute before news hits. We actually have 10 seconds. So let's see what happens. I'm curious to see if there's going to be any more juice left because of such a big expansion during New York Open. So let's see what happens. There we go. So here's the next candle. So far, it's a little bit of a weak sauce type move. Nothing really happening. Okay, let's see if we can analyze and see anything else we can get into. For me, all my zones have been mitigated, so I really don't have another area to get into. But what happens is that during these moves, sometimes price will create other gaps. So if we find other gaps that price creates, let's say on the way to the upside, it creates another gap here, we can possibly get into that to trade. So price is going up. And overall, though, guys, let me just put it this way. Overall, we're still bullish. Let me take some of these things away so it's a bit clear. Overall, on US 30, we are bullish. We've been talking about this all week that, yes, we can catch some sells, but overall, we are bullish. The general trend is bullish. The only way we would not... Oh, GBP, CHF. What happened here? Oh, price is back in this zone. Ooh, let's see what happens. Okay, one at a time, bro. My mind is all over the place. Let me just explain what I was explaining. We'll get back to that. Overall, we are in an uptrend. The only way I would consider going towards the downside is if price, because right now, if you look at it from just a point of view of being objective, we technically have price. These are the major moves. There's a bit of choppiness in between them, but essentially we've gone up to this high. This has been the lowest low after getting to that high, and then everything else in between. So technically, we're still in a bullish trend, not only from the past, but even with this structure, if we just look at it on that type of scale, we're still towards the upside. The only way we would consider going into sells permanently or really being aggressive in sells is if price broke this low. Okay, that may take a while to do because it's on the 15-minute time frame, but we have to see if price will break that low or if price will break this high. And so far, what price has done is it's come up very close. Let me mark this so that we can see. Has it even broken it yet? Almost. Okay, it's come up very close. So, but price is rejecting heavily here. So what might happen? Price might actually start to go towards the downside. We don't know. But in the meantime, because it hasn't broken this low, we still have to have a bullish mindset and look for buys. Okay, so that's kind of how I trade. So news is released. It's been 2 minutes. Nothing super crazy. This is like a weak New York opening, so nothing crazy. But again, we'll see if after, you know, the next 15-minute candle or so, if price is going to give us another entry. All right, guys, don't be afraid to share your ideas in here. We have a lot of great traders in here. Somebody last week was up like 15% or something like that. Another person was up 6% for the day. We have some really good traders in here. So if you guys are in here and you have some ideas, or you're trading, or you want to see an analysis, let me know. But right now we're just chilling. We're looking at it. We want to see if there's another entry. I have about an hour left in terms of my trading session because I don't trade past 11. All right, let's go back and look at GBP, JPY, CHF. Okay, so we had this situation going on here. Let me just move this out the way, guys, real quick. Let me just move this out the way. And we had this 15-minute zone here that price came into, is violating, and now it's tapped back into this one. So we got to wait to see what's going on here. For the most part, as you guys can see, let me zoom out a little bit to show you guys. We've been analyzing this, you know, all week. People have been asking us to look into this. So essentially, you can see we're in a nice downtrend. This essentially is a retracement, okay? When you notice that price is choppy, climbing back up or climbing back down, it's usually doing a retracement to actually go down towards, you know, the downside. So not only are we overall bearish because of the trend, this kind of also helps us to confirm that there's a good chance we might actually go towards the downside. We also saw when we got up here, price was a little choppy, broke this channel, and now it's retracing back into here. So we're looking bullish overall, even though in the short term, since all of August, since August 5th, we've been in a bullish trend. And so at this time, I'm overall bearish. Okay, I'm overall bearish. I'm looking for sells when it comes to GBP CHF. Now, listen, I'm no expert on Forex. I don't trade Forex. This is just my analysis. Okay, you guys might be towards the other way and you guys might be right and I might be wrong. I'm not an expert or a guru. I just share what I know. So anyways, so I've been looking at this, and today I was looking at it, I'm like, this is probably, I'm more bearish than I am bullish. Anything can happen for sure, but if anything, I'm looking for sells. Okay, you can see that price is tapped into this zone, starting to push back down. We're back to the original zone we were looking at. So it's just a matter of being patient and seeing what sets up. Vert said, since I'm beginning, I'll just watch to learn. Hope I can get some confidence to share ideas soon. Absolutely no rush. No rush at all. But if you do have a question, by all means, let us know. We will do our best to help you out here. But yeah, for the most part, you know, price is just kind of wonky. Remember, I've been telling you guys this before as well. So look what's going on with US 30. US 30 has come back into this zone. And technically, so look at this. Technically, we have, I could have done this, but again, it's news, so I can't, right? Because of these prop firms. But look, this is essentially my pattern. Okay, this is essentially my pattern. I'll show you what I mean. Whenever price is, I'm waiting for price to get to a zone, my zone. I'm waiting, if it's a sell, I'm waiting for, let's say it's been going up, right? I'm waiting for price to go up, give us a higher high, break the recent low, and I take that retracement down. Okay, and I do that vice versa for our buys. So if it comes down into the zone, I'm waiting for it to do something like this, break this recent high, I take the retracement and I go up. Okay, in this case here, look what we got. We have price. This is just beautiful, man. Price was consolidating. Okay, shot up, gave us a higher high, broke, gave us a lower low. Okay, so now that we were going up and now we have a higher high and a lower low, guess what? We just get into a retracement and boom. Okay, my first entry would have been here. Let me just show you guys real quick. My first entry would have been here, like that, just in case of anything. Now, on a news trade like this, I'm waiting to go deep. I'm not gonna put it like this. But usually under normal market structure, that would be my first entry, just to get into the trade, because a lot of time with these pairs, they just leave you. They don't always retrace to the level you want. They just up and leave you. So I try and get in, and then the next zone, I would have gotten in. Let's see, because I always try and get at least a 1 to 4 on the second one. Yeah, there you go. So exactly there. All right, and that would have been my position. So my TP would have been overall here. And at some point, based on these two positions, if I'm in both, once I get to like a 1 to 2, I'd close maybe 50%, maybe 80%, and then move my stops to break even, let the rest run. We did that yesterday with GBP CHF. I think I have the trade right here. Where is it? It was this one. All right, look at this, guys. This is what we entered into. Price came here. I think when we got to around this area, not even like around here, I closed about 50% and then we let the rest run to TP. Okay, so it's just an easy way to manage your trades if you're not too sure. You know, sometimes holding can be difficult, so it happens. But this is what I'd be looking at for NAS. All right, so let me move these things out the way just so we can get a clear chart. There you go. All right, so now price has gone up from this zone and it's now climbing back up into this area. So let's zoom out a little bit. Sammy said, greetings, fams. What's good, Sammy? Welcome back to the chat. Sammy's a new member to the family. He joined just yesterday. Everybody say what up. And if you guys are trading, please let us know. Somebody said, do I have mentorships? We're actually working on it. So join the Discord. We're going to be opening a channel for one-on-one coaching, memberships, all that stuff. I don't do any signals. I don't do any courses. If I do release a course, I'm going to make it free. All right. But the only thing that I would charge for is one-on-one just because it takes up a lot of my time. And after I do all this stuff, I have other businesses that I have to attend to. So it takes my time and it's like I got to compensate for my time. But that's the only thing. Other than that, everything over here is free. I show you guys everybody who's here can tell you my strategy, the way I trade, I show it all for free. Not trying to sell you guys on nothing. So join the Discord and we will start opening that channel soon. All right. I get a lot of people asking me in my DMs, can you please help me one-on-one? Can I hop on a call with you? I get it. So that channel is going to be available. And also the price is not going to be nothing too crazy. Okay. It's not going to be like these $2,000 per hour that you see people doing, which is insane, but we'll try and make it very reasonable, affordable. I'm working with the moderator and other people with it right now. So anyways, coming back to this is essentially my position. So right now we have this zone that I first marked up for the retracement. We have to see how price responds. Now, you guys, I want you to notice something as well. What is US 30 doing? US 30 is going down. Okay. What is NAS doing? NAS is going up. Remember what I told you guys last time? That they usually kind of move in opposite directions. But if they do move in the same direction, one is always earlier than the next. So if this is meant to go down, let me just get rid of this real quick. If this is meant to go back down, this is where we can start looking to see where we can get back in. Because what will happen is that, let's say US 30 went up first and then came down. You can start looking at areas over here and say, okay, wait. Maybe let's say there was a gap here. Maybe there's a gap right here. And then you can start positioning yourself. For me, I haven't seen enough to indicate that NAS may retrace. I haven't been paying that much attention to NAS as well. So maybe we can analyze it and think of it that way. But most of the time, it's usually NAS will move and then SPX will go first. Actually, let's check SPX first real quick. Usually SPX starts to retrace first. Okay, so you can see, right? So look at SPX. SPX, look at this. It looks very similar to what happened on NAS. So if you saw NAS, let me just put this up here. If you saw NAS also had this same type of setup here where it was giving you this like, right, type stuff before it went down. Okay, when you go to NAS, look, same structure before it went down and then up and then down, right? So it looks the same. So NAS is still going up. SPX, however, right, is starting to go down already. SPX has already started. So what I would do when I see that is I say, oh, okay, shoot, this is the overall move. Now, US 30 went up first, SPX is second. So I would start looking at, if I've already missed the move on SPX, I can't really see anything. Now I'm starting to look into NAS. I'm saying, okay, NAS is eventually going to go down, right? So I'm looking at where I can enter this, these trades and take it towards the downside. And that's it. I look for some entry there. I try and write it to wherever I know it's going to go. There's a bunch of like equal lows down here, so we can aim for something like that. And that's what I would do. All right. Candle Momentum said US 30 to 39,700 within the news. Yeah, I'm going to check that right now. Steven Lubaga said, thank you. I've joined. Awesome, Steven. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the live. US 30 to 39,700. Let's just plot a line right here. And let's add coordinates. Okay. 39,700. I don't know if I'm doing this correctly. Let's see. Nah, bro. Either my chart is jacked or the coordinates are not correct. Was there a number before the 39? Is it 40, 39? Like, Help me out here, candle momentum, just in case, because I know you were watching this for a while. And so this morning, candle momentum was calling sells. This morning, he messaged everybody. He's like, guys, I'm thinking sells. What do you guys think and stuff like that. So I was looking at it too. I'm like, we'll see. I told him getting closer to the time, I'd have a better idea. I just didn't update everyone in the chat, but he was correct in the direction of US 30 this morning. So candle, if you are listening, if you're still here, let us know what the coordinates are so we can plot it correctly. But as you can see, price is tanking for US 30. Has NAS started yet? Nope, NAS is still going up. SPX, let's see what SPX is doing. SPX is still retracing a little bit. So it's going to be very interesting. So here's another thing I want to bring to you guys' attention. Now that you see this expansion, we're not going to really see much action up until very close to FOMC. Right? Because you're going to see after price settles down, it's going to consolidate. It's going to do this. At one of these levels, it's going to do this for a minute. You might see a little bit up, a little bit down. It's going to come back, play around, push a little bit. But when FOMC happens, you're going to see price doing this. So if FOMC price is supposed to go up, right? Right before, you're going to see prices rising a little bit. And then as it's approaching FOMC, it's starting to go down like that. And you know what happens when FOMC starts? That's why you watch a lot of these videos and people are like, the famous video, it's a sell. I called it classic Forex trade. It's a sell. I called the signal. It's a sell. You guys remember that video? The man was so sure about the sell and price was going down. And as soon as the real news event released, shot up. Price does this a lot for news. Okay. And if it's going, if it's meant to go down, it'll do the opposite. So it'll start going up first, right? Start going up a little bit. And then when the news release hits, it starts to shoot down. All right, so we're not going to really get too much action here. Let me get rid of this line so we don't think it's a trend line or nothing. But as you can see, price has come into this zone. Let's go back out a little bit more. Okay, you can see that price has been in this area at least. Okay, something within this zone. Price can't seem to break it. And what do we have here? We had price come up, give us some bullish structure, go down. Okay. Came up a little bit, gave us a lower high and then a lower low. So all week or last week, I was anticipating somewhere for a deep retracement. We got a couple here. I was a bit satisfied with that, but nothing too crazy. I was expecting a way bigger, deeper drop like this, right? But again, with indices, they usually go up. So even with situations like this, you can see it's still up here, but it seems to be struggling up here. This might be the line in which price decides to maybe start coming back down towards the downside. We don't know. We just got to be patient enough and wise enough to catch some of these positions. All right. I'm stating market value to 39,700. Oh, I see. So that's where you believe price is going. Got you. Wow. Unless I'm wrong, but if you're seeing prices going down here, then let's go back to what we were looking at on the daily. Because I see. So yeah, so just like we were doing with the analysis, right? Just like I was saying, price came up, down, broke this. We were anticipating price to kind of retrace into somewhere here and go down. So candle momentum is I guess he's saying maybe this is the beginning of the move and he anticipates eventually we're going to make our way down to these areas. Unless I'm wrong. Guys, we're going down all day. Selling pressure is way too strong. Swing trade on this. Got you. So yeah, there you go. So that's what his position is. He anticipates that we're just going to be going down. But I mean, he's right about the selling pressure. Look at this candle. Look at this 1 hour candle. We still have 44 minutes. It's only been 15 minutes, but sheesh, right? That's a strong candle from this zone. You know what I mean? That's a super strong candle. I wish we had some of these prop firms that I know some prop firms you can buy like a news add-on where you can trade the news. Sometimes I really want to get into some of these positions because I can see what's about to happen. But because majority of them don't allow you, I just try not to build the habit. But if you are swing trading though, this is why I tell people when you're swing trading, news doesn't really matter unless your stops are really, really tight. When you're trading news, you have enough room. Like let's say, for example, I was swing trading, right? If I'm swing trading, I'm probably, let's just as an example, okay, though, just hear me out on here. Maybe my entry's here. My stop loss maybe might be above here. I might think, okay, price shouldn't go over there. And if we're with candle momentum and he's swinging, look at this. Look at this move, a 1 to 5, right? So news could do whatever it wants. There's going to be a Unless it's FOMC. FOMC, I might be a little worried about because FOMC is just the devil, bro. But other than that, you know what I mean? Like when you're swinging, you can catch really good moves. I think it was Abdul yesterday. Abdul too had some really good swings. His setups were beautiful as well. So candle momentum, you're in the Discord, so you'll update us on what's going on. But yeah, I'll be following and I'll be checking to see how this goes as well. Mind you, tomorrow, if we start getting into any places where I see a potential to buy, I'ma still buy. Everybody who's here, who's been with me for a bit now, knows that I will still buy in a downtrend. I will still sell in I will still buy in a downtrend. I will still sell in an uptrend. Okay, this is how my strategy works. I can buy anytime. I can sell anytime. So I won't only be taking sells. I can take sells, but if a buy shows up within my time frame and it looks reasonable, I'm going to take the buy. Candle momentum said we've been climbing since the 7th of August. It's trying to correct itself with a flush. Yeah, no, we've been going up for a hot minute, to be quite honest. Then even like, again, going back to the daily, just look at how bullish we've been for a hot minute. Okay, obviously this is 2023, but look, since 2023, the only time we kind of pulled back a little bit was January of this year. That's the only time we had to pull back. Look at this strong move all the way up here. This was March. March, we had some problems. We came right back to where we started at the beginning of the year. All right, around April, we went right back up. Okay, so and then after April, what happened in May? May, we've just been going up. So now, as soon as July hit, and I remember seeing this, July started acting differently. And then we recently had the market crash, which you can see has come all the way down here. And everybody saw this. Anybody who's familiar with indices knows that no matter how much the market crashes, the retracement is going to be nasty because this pair, this index, it just wants to go up because people are investing in the companies that are tied to this asset for a long-term gain. Okay, people are not betting that these companies are going down. Dow Jones is 30 of the US's largest companies that perform the best. It's a basket of those 30 companies. SPX 500 is 500 of those companies, and NAS 100 I think is not only 100, but I think tech companies as well. Something like that. I'm not well versed in that, but long story short, just think of it as 30 of the best companies in a basket, 100 of the best companies in a basket, and 500. So people are not investing in this because they're expecting it to go down. Everybody's bullish on this long term. So when price starts going down, what are people doing? They are buying because they're like, oh, okay, whatever. These companies like Apple is going to survive a crash. You know what I mean? Coca-Cola will do the same. All these other companies will do fairly well. So people are always bullish on this pair because of what they're intended to do. So anyways, let's go back down to the 15 a little bit. We can see, all right, so price has, you see that? Like price has come down and now it's retracing again. Let's take a look at NAS. Has NAS started yet? Okay, finally. So with NAS, we've had this retracement candle start now. And now it's pushing back up. All right, let's go take a look at SPX real quick. I was about to say SPX went crazy. Okay, there you go. So SPX now went into this zone and now it's pushing back up. Again, before we really see the correction we want to see, we have to wait. This is why I tell you guys that until you see, because remember we were coming from here, okay, basically up to here. This was our lowest point after that. Until you see price, whether it breaks this or breaks this zone here, we can't call it bearish. That's how I would personally look at it, only because now it will take a while and you'll be able to catch some buys and some sells in between. But before I would start getting into a long position, I'm waiting for this to break because this is telling me we're still in an uptrend. We're still in an uptrend, okay? Still in an uptrend. And though we're seeing some retracements and some pushes towards the upside and then down, it could do one of these and go down, or it could still come down to a level like here and still go up. This is a pair designed to be a good investment. So a lot of people have their money backing it. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion on it. I could be wrong. You know what I mean? Candle momentum this morning called the sells. I wasn't looking at sells yet. I was, in my mind, because we've already analyzed this, we're still bullish for a long time. When I get to the charts, I start looking at areas, right? I start looking at areas where we can potentially go down. So I'll give you an example. So let's say this morning, let me start from over here because I was around like 7 o'clock. So let's start from right here, okay? At this point, when I get to the charts, when I'm looking at the chart, even though I can see clear as day, that this level is going to be a problem because price came up, okay? Those of you who are new don't really know about market structure. I'm not going to go into every little dip. Just follow me as best as you can. price was giving us things like this, okay? And then it went up, okay? Gave us a higher high. So we had a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, bit of a lower low, and then a lower high, and then another lower low. So this already started to tell us price might be changing. Then it gave us a higher high and immediately a lower low. One of the best ways to tell that price is reversing. So when I see this, I'm like, okay, then we had a lower high and another lower low. Price may officially be bullish, but we still need to wait for, you know, again, some other breaks on higher time frames. So anyways, so price comes back, gives us a higher high, gives us a higher low, right? And it continues to do this little dance a little bit, gets back up here. This is still technically, even though it's a higher high compared to this, it's still a lower high because it didn't break this. We get this down. We have, again, technically could be a lower low, but we're just going to call it a higher low because overall we're still high. All right, so now here we are. At this point, I have to ask myself, what are the probabilities? This is what trading is about, guys, probabilities. What are the probabilities that price is going to go up? I hate when this happens. That price is going to go up. And what are the probabilities that price is going to go down? That's what I have to ask myself. So when I see stuff like this, I start saying to myself, okay, well, let's see what price does around here. There's two things I'm going to look at. If price violates this and goes up, I'm waiting for a gap to get back in to go towards the upside. If price doesn't do that and price starts, you know, rejecting and starts maybe creating a gap this way, I will look for a gap this way to go down. That's what I'll look for. Okay, so at 6:45, well, this is 7 o'clock. So at 7 o'clock, nothing was really going on. And then what do we have at 8:15? So at 8:15, we have price push towards the upside. I say, okay, cool. Price is bullish now. However, I have to also keep this in mind. I always look for the biggest gap for the day on each side because price is usually going to one of the two. I kid you guys not. If you don't believe me, backtest this. Price will always find one gap on each side to interact with. And sometimes it'll do both. So I'm like, okay, we're here. Let's see how price interacts with this. So at 8 o'clock, what happens? It starts going down. Starts going down again, starts going down again. And then at 9:30, which is what we had with the whole news release, okay? So at this point, price is going down. So I could have easily said, okay, if I get my pattern within here, I'm going to take it. The thing for me is that my pattern didn't show up, so I didn't touch anything. All right. So now we go back to where we are now in real time. Price went up. Okay. And now it's starting to push down. So if there were any gaps created here, let's say there was a gap here. Okay. That was created. If there was a gap towards the upside, guess what I'm doing? This is my next zone that I'm taking. Because when there's gaps being created after price is violating structure, it tells me that we're most likely still going that direction. I start looking at places where when price retraces to, I can get in. Okay. Next target is up here. Whatever I get into here, I'm going to go for a 1 to 2. Oops. Whatever I get into around here, let's say I get in somewhere around here. Maybe my stops end up being somewhere around here. I'm going to always aim for a 1 to 2. But when I'm holding, my next zone is here. I always hold to the zone because these gray zones I mark up, they always hit. Okay. So now we can kind of zoom back out because price is kind of in real time and we can see what's happened. So price went up. Okay. After this, tap the gray zone. You see that? So this is why I was saying that my take profit, if I had entered there, would be at the gray zone. It was supposed to be somewhere like here. And this would be my take profit because it always goes to those zones. All right. So price went up, came down. What are we seeing? We're seeing that price is giving us high, low, higher high. And technically, even though these are wicks, you can call this a break of the low. So now we have a lower low. So if I was aggressive or if I had enough confluence, I can get in at the retracement anywhere where it's going right now and start going towards the downside. The only reason why I'm not getting into anything is because I have no gaps. I have nothing that tells me price is going either up or down. Price right now is just playing around. So I wait. I'm just patient and I wait it out. All right. So we can see here, look. So look at the retracement on US 30. You see that? Now, don't get me wrong. We could still just come all the way up here to fly towards the downside. That could absolutely be the case. But I say all this to say that until you have confirmation, especially with these pairs, don't really get in because they do a lot of manipulation. The first time I tried to trade indices, I couldn't tell what was going on because with Forex around 9:30, nothing happens, right? But with US 30 and NAS and SPX, I kept remembering like every time I was backtesting, randomly price would just start shooting up and down. I'm like, what kind of witchcraft is this? Not knowing that New York Open really affects these pairs. Like it's a real thing with this, right? So when these pairs are doing this stuff, you want to stay out the market. They're just manipulating. Look at what they did. All the let's kind of do a little bit of analysis here. What are all these here? What would you guys say all these things right there are? Okay, all these things you guys sitting up here, what would you guys say that it is? Let me get back to the chat too. Candle Moment says, we've been, oh, okay, Mozart said, rogue life, your strategy. LOL. And Candle Moment said, I'm a day trader, man. I'm out. Cut all my profits till the following day. That's what's up, bro. Take what you can take and get out the market. K Dot also hit 4R. Guys, let's put some flame emojis for K Dot, who hit a 4R trade. The other day he was -3. Okay, -3, and he was still supporting everybody else who was winning. So put some fire emojis in the chat for K Dot, who hit a 4R today, and for Candle Momentum, who also seemed to take some profits today. Put some fire emojis in the chat, guys. Support each other. When other people are winning, it's gonna come back to you next. So put some fire emojis in the chat, guys. Show some love to the people who are winning in this group. All right. Just the other day, K Dot was -3 when other people were up 13%, 5%, 6%, and he was supportive. And now look, he's made a 4R today. Guys, show him some love. Put some fire emojis in the chat. All right. So while you guys are doing that, let me get back to this real quick. So with these things, like I said, you want to stay out the market because price can easily manipulate things. You want to be patient to see what's going on. FZ Mozart said, nice. Put some fire emojis. That's what's up. Shout out to you, FZ Mozart. Guys, throw some fire emojis in the chat. Show some love to these guys. Some of them were not winning the other day, and now they're winning. That's the beauty of trading. So everybody has their day, right? And your system and your strategy, no matter how profitable, has losing days. Okay, but guys, look at how far price is retracing. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't really tell what's going on until it shows you what it wants to do. That's the thing with trading, guys. You have to be patient enough to see what price wants to tell you. But while we were doing that, I was asking you guys, Professor said good stuff. That's what's up, guys. Thank you for being supportive. Thank you for shouting out at each other. What do you guys think about this? What's sitting at this level here? What are all these things? What would you guys call this? All these peaks, for example. What would you guys call this? There's a term for it in the SMC ICT world. But what do you guys think this is? Because I'm trying to show you guys what price does on these indice pairs. Okay. Well, since you guys are putting fire emojis, let me just explain so it's easier and more fluent for us to go. Candle Momentum said, good job, K Dot. That's what's up, guys. Thank you for showing love to K Dot. And don't forget Candle Momentum. He also had some profits today. Show some love, guys, for everybody who's winning in the chat. All right. But while you guys are doing that, you can see up here, we essentially have what's called a pool of liquidity. Okay. Why? There's a bunch of equal highs just sitting here. So what did price do as soon as news and stuff started to happen? It violated this. Then it also went for up here because some of the people who are in these cells, okay, some of them are going to say, oh, you know what? I'm going to enter here. Right? When price taps up in here, maybe they're swinging, maybe they're doing something else. They might put their stops here. Some of them might put it just above whatever. Price essentially, all I'm trying to teach you guys is that price made sure to take out as many highs as it could, and then it went down. Okay? This is manipulation, right? It's looking for places where most people's money is at. You see what I'm saying? So this is liquidity. And then what did it do down here? Look at this, guys. What would you call this? Same thing. A bunch of equal lows. This is also an area of liquidity. And this morning when I was looking at the chart, I said the same. I looked at this and I looked at that and I'm like, okay, we have some issues because there's too much equal stuff going on here. You can see this has been a strong level. Some people will call it an area of support and resistance and stuff like that, but it can also become an area of liquidity, especially when it's in between two ranges. I'll give you an example. This area here, okay, let's say based on price action, this is a terrible example, by the way, but let's just humor me for a second. Let's say you mark this up as a zone and say, well, every time price comes up here, it doesn't do anything. This you can say is a good support area, especially if it happened to be something like this where it like over here, it doesn't break at all. And over here, it touches and doesn't break either. Then you can say this is definitely a good area of support or resistance, depending on where you are. When you have price in between two zones like this, okay, where up here, price hasn't broken. And down here, let's say price hasn't broken, and then you start seeing stuff like this, even though on the short term, if you go to 1 minute, it could be an area of support, it's actually liquidity that's being built. And eventually it's going to get taken and everybody in there is going to get washed because they're waiting for everybody to have faith in this area and then just take them all out. So what did price do? As soon as the news releases happened, price went up, took everybody over here. So let me change this to swept liquidity so we can see that was taken. Okay, everybody over here was taken. And then what happened down here? Same thing. And you know how this is a liquidity sweep? Because as soon as price takes those areas, it goes back the other way with strong momentum, with strong force, which tells you the only reason why they came over here was to take your money. You know those people who visit you just because they want something? This is what US pairs do. Okay, they visit you just because they want something from you. All right, I don't want my charts to be too busy. It's already too busy. Let me get rid of some of these things. Actually, no, this is important. So I'll keep this there, but I'll move it over to the side a little bit. Okay, so as you can see, price now has gone down, has gone up. Now it's going back down again. Okay, you remember the initial zone that we were looking at for price to tap into? What is price doing now? It's using this same gap, and it's using that to push downwards. The markets, man, can get crazy. Candle momentum said range, I would call it, it's a valid area of interest. Oh, guys, sorry, my doorbell just hit. I think Amazon's here to pick something up. I'll be right back, guys. Got to turn off my stuff real quick. There you go. I'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, I'm back. Let me put my camera back on. All right, so yeah, I was reading kind of when it's a range, I would call it, it's a valid area of interest. Absolutely. You can absolutely call it a range as well. You can see it was ranging between 2 points as well, and a very valid area of interest for sure, because when you get there, you know price is going to react or do something that could give you a possible entry. Professor said, I can't momentum keep going, man. That's part where your profits made me laugh. Yeah, that was funny. All right, so coming back to this, you can see price is just going up and down and up and down. And remember what I told you guys? After it exhausts everything, you're just going to see this weird movement because it's saving the rest of its energy for what? For FOMC. So until then, we're not really going to see anything. Let's see what's happening on, holy father. This thing went ballistic as well. Bro, look at GBPCHF. That's nuts. That's nuts what's happening here. Okay? I don't trade Forex, so those of you who trade Forex, tell me what you guys think we're looking at. Tell me what you guys think. Was anybody looking to get into any trades on GBPCHF at all? Because I'm about to start trading Forex, but I don't usually trade it. I did have it marked down this morning that if price broke this area, I would start really considering getting into some sells. But if you notice, what did price do? This stuff, you guys, I'm telling you, it's like clockwork. It's like art. Price came right back down to this exact same low and then went up. So this tells me that even though we're overall bullish, we might either be changing direction permanently, or at least for the long term, or we're not going to retrace to something else above there to go down. But to me, that doesn't make too much sense because we're breaking structure at this point. Look at this. Price is just zooming. We're breaking structure. We have all the structure that was forming. Okay. We were going up, down, and just look, this is just beautiful down, like a beautiful downtrend. Okay. Then we eventually got to here. It came here. Then it started to slowly, let me zoom in a little bit, slowly climb up for the short term. Okay. Slow climb. It came up here and it pushed down. What was price supposed to do? It's supposed to break these. It's supposed to take out this low, then this one, then that one, because we're supposed to continue. Price didn't do that. It came to this exact spot and it's going up. Now what we have is price has broken this high. Now price has broken this high. What does that mean? We are now forming bullish structure on, towards the upside. So now I'm not so bearish as I used to be. Again, granted, there are many other opportunities. There's still gaps like right here where we can say, okay, price may come to this gap and give us a run for our money. We might even still see on the lower time frame that price gives us something to really get into for a sell. But for the most part, if price closes, okay, that's the other thing we have to look at. How many minutes we got left on this? We've got 8 minutes. So in the next 8 minutes, depending on what happens, because imagine price does, like, let's say something like this, and then it doesn't close like that. It ends up shooting back down. Then we can know that this was just manipulation. Okay? And manipulating who, you would say? The people who have been trading in here. The people who have trusted this level, sold over here, sold over here, sold over here. Probably everybody who's there is thinking maybe what I'm thinking, trying to catch the lows, right? Some people who are swinging are probably trying to catch there. They're all getting wiped out right now. So we have to see what happens when the candle closes. No setup for me on GBP CHF on the daily, so I didn't even look at it. Yeah, I agree. If you don't see any set, that's what happened to me this morning. I didn't take any trades on US 30. Zero. I didn't see any setups for me, so I didn't touch it. Okay, guys, you got to learn to be patient. Mozart is an excellent trader, by the way. He catches really good setups as well. And what did he do today? And I bet you, if I ask Mozart, did you have at least some idea as to where price was going to go? He'll probably say yeah. I could ask him after that, did it go where you thought it was going to go? He'll probably say yeah. And then the question would be, so why didn't you trade? Because it wasn't his setup. Patience pays in this game. Patience pays. Candle momentum center. Okay, he's going to respond after. All right, guys. So CHF, GBP CHF, that's what's happening here. Let's take a look at, I think we had Euro JPY as well on here. Look at you. Oh my God. Look at Euro JPY. You see what happened here at 10 o'clock? This is what I'm telling you guys. Ask yourself what my African brothers would say, what was the reason that you did this? What was the reason? Right? What in the world was the cause of this? Look at this. Price goes all the way there and look where it closes, right back here. It takes everyone and their mom out the game and then goes right back to where it started. And now it's slowly starting to push back up. This is, guys, this is top tier. You know what I mean? Destruction. All these equal highs and stuff sitting up here, all these zones, it's making sure, right? Because I've marked up this big zone for a reason. Look at this. I'll show you guys something. This was a daily gap, I believe. Yeah, this was a daily gap. So what happened? There are people who are swinging who see these things. And price was like, okay, some people are on the 4 hour, some people are on the 1 hour, and maybe they're entering in here, have their stops just, above here or whatever the case is. Price, all I'm saying is that when you see these things happening, they're priced in. They're already priced in, and price is just going to the areas where it can take as much as it can and then does what it actually wants to do. All right, so I find this stuff kind of funny. Dizer from News said, what do you mean manipulation? Nobody cares about your stop loss. I'm not saying they're hunting your stop loss per se. I'm saying that you have to understand that price, look at the way price is moving. Okay, I know that volatility can happen in the market, but when you see, especially like we were seeing on US 30, look at this. I've been trading US 30 for 4 years. Okay, I know when US 30 is going out to take out lows and highs and when it's just moving in its direction. When you see things happening like this, it is absolutely doing this to take out whatever it needs to take because the market moves with liquidity. Everybody knows this. Okay, so I'm not preaching that your stop loss is being hunted. I'm just saying this is some form of manipulation. And if you don't agree, you don't have to agree. That's totally fine. He said it's all random. It's if the market is random, our technical analysis would fail. The reason why we all can set up strategies is because things repeat. And people, okay, so there's two arguments to this. People say that there's an algorithm, and then others say that, oh, it's all just random, right? Okay. People think it's random because, the market has participants, which are usually human beings. There are some big companies and stuff that have trading algorithms that trade in the market, but for the most part, it's, human beings. But the reason why I don't believe it's random, I'm not saying there's an algorithm either, but I don't think it's random only because you can consistently, like for the last 4 years, I can get a good idea or even sometimes tell to the T what price is going to do. That's not random. If I take a ball, right? There's something called properties. If I take a ball and I drop it and it comes back to my hand and I drop it and it comes back to my hand, you know what that's called? That's called a property. It means that This elastic ball has elastic properties, which means that whenever the ball is either hit with the force or stretches, it's going to come back to its initial position. That makes it so that you can now consistently say this is a characteristic. Once that becomes a characteristic, you can now say anytime I bounce a ball with a certain amount of force, I can get a certain reaction. That's not random. That's something you can prove and test. The reason why our technicals work is because the market does the same thing over and over and over again. If it's random, explain to me why every day at 9:30 we get this. Why doesn't it happen at 7:30 and then the day before that 6:30 or 6:15? It's not random. So I'm going to have to disagree there, guys. I'm not, again, trying to put out any like your stop loss is being hunted or the market's out to get you. I don't teach that stuff. Okay? You win some, you lose some. I'm saying this is not random. Okay? Price coming to these certain areas and doing all this is for a reason. Okay? So that's my opinion on that. Kato said, where am I from in Africa? I was born in Canada, Toronto, Canada, but my parents are from Ghana, West Africa. Shout out West Africa, baby. FC Mozart said, news be driving the price everywhere. LOL. Exactly. Dizer Foreman said, no, bro, it's foreign exchange. No one hunting your stop loss. It's people exchanging money. Bro, okay. Maybe my English isn't good enough for you. I'm not saying anyone is hunting your stop loss. That's number one. Number two, I'm trading indices, which is tied to the stock market. Okay? Tied to the stock market. People are engaging. A lot of hedge funds, right? A lot of firms and a lot of people who have lots of money when they enter. I used to trade stocks when I start. When you enter, you can see volume and how much it affects the thing that you're trading. There's a reason why back in the day they used to talk about things like pump and dump. Because if everybody in the stock market at least goes to buy a certain pair, you know what happened to the pair? It'll shoot up. Why do you think GME, GameStop, why do you think that the short squeeze was a thing? It's because with stocks, people can directly influence the price, the volatility, and all those things. That's why a bunch of people came together, said we're going to screw over the banks, and it worked. Okay? If Forex might be different, I get it. It's a different system altogether, but this is US 30. It's tied to stocks. Okay? Even though technically we're trading derivatives, but it still mimics. Okay? So you can still, again, you can still, You can still, in a sense, predict these things or technically assess these things and take moves off of it. He says, sorry for the caps. Oh, okay. I thought you were yelling at me. No worries. K-Dot said it can't be random if it can be predicted. I agree, you guys. I think the reason why if it was random, our technicals would fall apart. I just don't think that something that you can repeat over and over and over and over and over and over again can be random. You know what's... Anyways, I'm going to go to that in a second. I don't want to derail this conversation. I want to get to the chat and then get to that. Katanza say, yo, what up? What up, Katanza? Welcome back. It's Jason from the Discord. Yo, what's good, Jason? Oh, that's your name on here? I didn't know that's your name on here. Jason's active in the Discord as well. What up, Jason? Thank you for coming back. Do I use ICT concepts? I learned them in the beginning, tried to, build a model off of it. Didn't work for me. It was too complex. The only thing I use from ICT is fair value gaps. I did mention liquidity just to draw a point, but you'll never see me trade and say, oh, I'm trading because there's an area of liquidity here, or my take profit or stop loss at it. I don't use that. The only thing I use from ICT is fair value gaps. Everything else I kind of MacGyvered or Frankenstein together from experience. K-Dot and then there would be no profitable people. Again, come back to the same stuff. He said I was talking about the Euro JPY, not Dow. Okay, well, bro, my whole point was that when you see stuff like this, right, that you have to understand that this stuff, because look at how price moves regularly, even with news. Let's go back a little bit. Let's go test out your theory. Let's go back a couple. In fact, let's look at what happened here in July. Look at this. Okay, what happened here in July? Let's go back a little bit. Let's see if I can get the move right before. So what happened here? Again, I don't trade Euro JPY. I haven't backtested, nothing like that. Let's see what happens. Let's see if there's any news events at all. So it's 7 o'clock on July 8. And then boom. What caused this, right? Something in the market obviously caused this. Could be a crash, could be some event outside the world or whatever the case is, right? This is an anomaly. Why is it an anomaly? Because prior to that, look how consistent market was going up. The market was going up, then down, then up, then down, to the point where you can literally start to draw structures that tell you, oh, since price has gone up, it's coming down somewhere over here. I mean, Fibonacci's, people use all sorts of stuff, and they're able to use it to determine or to get a good glance. I have 2 friends that use moving averages to trade, and they're very profitable. Why? Because when a market is trending, you can literally look at the structures and get in at those points and make money. Okay? When we see things like this, we understand there was some catalyst, there was something that caused this to happen. Okay? Now, this is a very extreme case because as you can see, this is what? How many days? This is from the 7th of July to the 11th. Okay? That's like 4 days worth of price action erased. In fact, it came down to here. This is from the 1st. Okay? 11 days of price action erased by one move. So there was obviously an external factor that caused this to happen. Okay, cool. So let's go back a little bit and let's see what happens. I'm going to move down to the thing. Okay, cool. Here's another one. This one is at 19:30, which my time would be 18 is, I think, 6. So this would be 7:30, okay? You have to ask yourself what's causing these moves and if this is a regular thing in the market. When these things are not regular, let me go back to US 30 real quick. When these things are not regular, like for example with this is regular, okay? This happens every day at 9:30. This is what happened today around 9:30. Where's yesterday? Tuesday. 9 o'clock. Look what happened at 9:30. This 9:30 range. Price started spiking up and down and pushing heavily and then started going back up to its regular direction. Over here, what do we have? Okay, 9 o'clock, 9:30. Look at this movement from 9:30 right here. Price starts shooting up with extreme volatility, right? So for this, we can say this is normal. For Euro JPY, outside of this, look, outside this, you don't really get stuff like that. You get consistent changes to the market. There are economic factors that do take place. Something like this. What caused this? So when I'm backtesting, I start to study these things and find out, is it news driven or is it that price waits for certain areas and certain things to hit before it goes up? I was talking about a new strategy that earlier before the live started, and I talked about this last week as well. You know why these zones were marked? Because I knew that when news hits, it's going to come back into this area and retrace. So let's see what happened. 8:45. Okay, 9:15, we had the news push, and then 9:30. Look what happened at 9:30, okay? Price came back into that area, 9:45, okay? And then eventually it crossed that, hit this area, and went up, and that's what we're looking at. I knew that at some point price was going to tap this area before going up. Why? Because I have studied this over and over to find out that there are certain areas and zones price will go to, and I use will with force because it happens. It's not random. Look at this, let me see if I can go back down here. Look at this. Initially, price came down to this gap to the T, shot up. Price came down into this area, this zone, shot up. Price came into this area initially right here, shot down. How did I mark up those zones? Why did I think they were going to work? Because this is what price does. So if I get a situation where, let's say, I'll give you another example. If price, all of a sudden, instead of going to those zones, price did this, like price was, going, and then out of nowhere, it just all the way down here, that is random. That is random. That shouldn't be. I've studied US 30 long enough to know that even with FOMC, we're not supposed to get that. You see what I'm saying? Then I can look at other stuff. But these things happen consistently. So anyways, with the Forex market, I understand that not everything's about stop loss, or people can't, we can't all, let's all buy Euro JPY and then it'll affect the market. But we're the same foreign exchange markets that are being traded are also being traded by companies that use algorithms or machines to trade. It's not just random people up there. You think the banks have people trading this stuff? Even if they do, it's a select few, and they're moving mass positions. And the reason why they move positions in certain increments is so that they don't cause things like this to happen, right? Because it can cause market fluctuations that are not normal for the market or healthy for the market. So I'm saying all this to say that these things have a consistency to them. And when you start to look at why they happen and when they happen, you start to realize it's not as random as you think. Some of them are priced in. Some of them are there to do what they're supposed to. It's Japan bank, Japanese bank, bro. They tried to save their economy. That's why what happened. Japanese yen was going downhill, so they saved it. That's what happened there. Oh, so you've been responding to my comments. My fault. I didn't see. The thing is, it happens for a reason. Some of us could speculate and find similar things that happened before, and after that happens, you can be profitable, but you can't say it's because your strategy. Okay, so I know you're not yelling at me, but I think there's a disconnect between what I'm saying to you and what you're hearing from me. I'm not saying that it's because they're trying to destroy my strategy or hunt my stop loss. I'm saying the banks understand. Remember, they have machines that understand where market participants are, even when it's against other banks. They know. Like, think of it this way. If you're a chess player or even a player in the market, remember, when you take a trade, somebody on the other side has to buy your position. If I'm selling and I want to get out here, somebody has to buy me out, right? There's a reason why stock markets have liquidity houses where they have to basically like verify the trade and then liquefy the trade. These things are there because somebody has to absorb that loss or that profit, whatever the case is. You see what I'm saying? So in the market where these people are all trading, banks and all that stuff, they understand that somebody's on the other side taking those positions. So when they know that there are other participants in the market and they're trying to liquidate their positions, right, in a way where they can fully exit. In fact, if you watch a lot of like the if you watch a lot of the movies before with how, and documentaries on how the market works, do you know the reason why banks, even though they have billions of dollars stuff, don't take billion-dollar positions and only smaller positions? Because they can cause things like this to happen. And you know what happens when this happens? A lot of money can be so quickly liquidated that they can't even get out their position. So they move accordingly. And they understand there are other participants. I remember one documentary. The guy he wanted to sell, I think, was it 400 mil or 40 mil? And he had to do it 2 or 3 mil at a time because he said he didn't want to cause mass panic. What would happen? He would lose his money. So I'm saying all this to say that it's not about my strategy or my stop loss. It's about the fact that the market itself is aware of how the look, everything we're reading here, it can be summarized in like one phrase: human behavior. Okay, it's humans versus humans. And over time, you can see how humans react to certain price points. And based on what you're seeing, you can anticipate, like you said, what's going to happen next because of how human beings respond to certain things. So I'm saying all this to say that the same human beings understand. Let me just get out of this real quick. The same human beings understand that when they're doing stuff like this, they know what some of their competitors, they know what some of the people across the pond are doing. They understand. Have you guys seen when the Chinese were trading Bitcoin, how they would purposely push down and go up? Like, they understand the game. So I'm saying all this to say that these type of moves, yes, you can say that it's not about your stop loss or your strategy. I agree. I never said that in the first place. But I'm saying this is a targeted move for a reason. You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, is that this is a targeted reason for a move for a reason. And if you study these patterns and these charts, you can find over time, you can start to predict. I have a trade, which I'm going to show you guys eventually. I took on futures. Price came to my egg, just like what happened with US 30 today. It's starting to tank. Whereas I hope candle momentum is still back in this live, because he was like, yo, bullish pressure, we're going down, blah, blah, blah. Okay? I had a trade where I marked up a zone just like this based off of what I've known from news, all that stuff, all that good stuff. Okay? Price came in, tapped it to the T just like this. Okay? My stop loss was like that. And I shot up for like a 1 to 6 or something like that. It took 5 seconds. I was liquidated. Won the trade. And I've done that multiple times. And you know why I can predict it to the T? Because of things like this. You see these boxes I've marked up? When you study the charts long enough, you'll start to realize that they go to certain price points. They understand where the liquidity is. They understand where the money's at. They understand where the best moves are at. So again, I'm saying all this to say that it's not about, let's just take all the other stuff away. I am not preaching that there's, stop loss hunting or that they're trying to destroy your strategy. I'm saying they understand where the money's at in the market. So they're going there to take out whoever's, whatever money's sitting up there, positions are sitting up there, right? When we're in trades and stuff like that, they know there are websites where you can go and see where most people are positioned in the market. You see what I'm saying? So it just happens you found the pattern. It's not because of the strategy. It could stop working anytime. Okay. So so K-Dot said it's not just because of strategy. So Dizer said it could stop working anytime. I don't think people claim that. They know that they just found a pattern. That's Navinderson. Sorrow caused a flash crash in 2010, moving too much volume and selling millions of shares at one time. There you go. You see what I'm saying? Then back to Dizer. Dizer said the market maker is taking it. Not in Forex, bro. The market maker. So you believe in a market maker. But okay, all right. Let me just stay No one buying USD or GBP or JPY. They buy stocks and gold. It's weird. It used to be consistently profitable, then end up watching other traders trying to learn more. Seems like now I have too much info. Yeah. So show just real quick, just to answer your question. It happens. It happened to me as well. If you're watching too many strategies, just take a step back. The one that resonates the most with you, just try and polish that. Okay, that's what happened to me. You watch, because for example, I'll show you right now. My trading, I don't think is the sexiest. There are some people I watch who they do like 1 to 10s, 1 to whatever they swing, and they can get in somewhere around here. Okay, and they're catching setups like this. Okay, they wait for these high level setups, and then they will like, they'll do stuff like this, and you watch and you're like, man, I want to catch those. And so you'll see somebody else do something better, and you'll be attracted to the next and the next and the next. And essentially what ends up happening is that you're too in love with all these different things. You've learned not really much. You just have so much going on. You're like, well, I saw this guy, he uses the daily bias. The other person uses the wick of the candle. The other person uses a gap. The other person uses an order block. The other person uses support and resistance. And then you have too much going on. So just kind of take a step back. Look at the things that you identify with. One of the things that stood out to me the most when I was trading was gaps and consolidation. And I just stuck to those two. As you can see, till this day, they're still significant to me. Okay, so just take a step back, look at the things that resonate with you. If you look at it and you're like, brand, support and resistance just makes the most sense, start there and polish your strategy from there. All right. Come back to Daz say, so you can't use human emotions on Forex. Yes, on stocks you can. Okay, again, I think we're talking about two different things, or we're just missing each other. Listen, you're free to have your own opinion. And I welcome you to the chat. You can stay here and give your opinion anytime. But I'm just trying to make my position clear, okay? That it's not even about a human emotion thing. Like when I say it's human nature, I'm saying, remember, the Japanese candlesticks that we use today was literally created by a person who started to understand that when he started making these candlesticks, he can see where price, they were daily in the beginning. He can see where price, or were they weekly? Long story short, he would see where price went for, throughout that period. And he started to understand, as everybody who started to use it started to understand, that people at certain seasons and certain times bought more or sold more. It's human nature. It's how this whole thing started. Even the computers and algorithms of trading, they're trading based on past events and data they've collected from human participants in the market. You see what I'm saying? So again, I think we're just talking in circles here, so I'm just going to leave it. That's why there are fear and greed index exists. Okay. Backtesting mean reversion strategies on Forex with walk forward testing shows you that the markets have been able to be predicted. Absolutely. Definitely in Forex, money printing and rates fluctuations, militia, stop hunting. See, so Candle Momentum, first off, is an excellent trader. He's been calling some stuff in the chat. He seems to be experienced, okay? And look what his position is saying. He's saying that things like money printing, rates fluctuations, that is manipulation. Like, let's not even leave it at Forex. The economy, the printing of money and all these things they're doing, there are reasons behind it, and they affect us significantly. Okay? And what did they do when what's the word they're looking? When the rates are too high and all that stuff, or when it's too low, they do stuff called, first they call it stimulating the market when they print the money, and then when they raise the rates, they call it quantitative ease. Quantitative easing is when they print the money to stabilize the rates and stuff. Again, I'm not an expert in this, but the whole point is that these terms they've come up with is just ways for them to print money. It hurts our dollar, and they try to regulate it by, again, manipulating the price of money and the stocks and the things that we have as assets. Because once they do that, they can control cash flow and they can control price. They can, listen, what makes banks powerful is that they can control rates. Once you control rates, you control the price of money. I know it sounds stupid, but money does have a price. That's why if you borrow $10 from your bank and they charge you 10%, you're going to pay an extra dollar. That's the price you pay to buy that $10. Okay? So once they control that, they can control how much you make and how much you can spend. This is all, it's a really deep thing. I'm not trying to get all conspiracy theory, but like Candle Momentum is absolutely correct. These things all affect, okay? And they make, for example, FOMC, right? That's the title of it. But when you look at the chart and you see the way these things move, they have purposes in the market. They have purpose. You can't tell me, when you go and look back at all the other FOMCs and stuff like that, why do they continuously go towards those areas, take one out, and then go down? And you're telling me that's random and it happens every time? I don't know what to tell you. I was saying before the news event hit that when prices, on at least on US 30 or on indexes or indices, when prices going down, right, before news release, If it's supposed to go up, it'll go down a little bit, right? And then as the news release happens, it goes up. And if it's supposed to go down, you'll see it go up. And then right when the news release happens, it goes down. How do I know this? How did I say this here before it happened? Because it's predictable. It's consistent. It is not random. It has a process to it, a consistency to it, okay? So none of this stuff, in my opinion, is random. K-Dot said, I'm about to get active. Price have been hovering around my TP for 10 minutes. Yeah, bro, do your thing. I know you were in some trades. You were already up 4 hours, so shout out to you. Mozart said, you got to find what works for you and your eyes. It's like the car. There's a lot of wheels you can buy, but they all do the same thing. I agree with Mozart on that. I think he's responding to show who is new. Absolutely, bro. There are so many different strategies you can trade, but essentially you're going to find the one that just fits you best, all right? So I mentioned that already. Marcus is in here. He said, let's go. Marcus, you always, man, first off, shout out for supporting. You're supposed to be on vacation, so you shouldn't even be on here. And I kind of get sad when people come in around 11, because you guys already know 11 is like around my cutoff time where I'm going to start, you know what I mean? Like coming off because I got to go attend to other business and things like that. But either way, thanks for joining, brother. Always happy to have you here and to see you. Kendall said it's a confirmation with how the fundamentals control the game, guys. Bro, we can talk so deeply about these things, to be quite honest, right? Again, I'm not an expert in this. I'm not a guru. I'm still a student of the game. I'm still learning. I'm not on here to pretend that I know everything, but I am sharing what I know. And there are certain things I have seen. Nobody can convince me otherwise. Let me just put it that way. Yeah, one thing I will not agree is that this is random. If it were random, our technicals would fall apart. Okay, yesterday, Abdul dropped a crazy signal, went really well. Candle momentum this morning was already calling sells. How did he know price was going to do this? And then he's anticipating, according to him, he's anticipating that price is going to come down to this level. What is he basing that off? Is he guessing? You see what I'm saying? Like there's consistency to this. That's why we have strategies. You see what I'm saying? FC Marzo said, what I've seen is that the people like Citadel market maker knows where they want the price to go. They just need the news to push the price there because they can't randomly do it. All right. There's another interesting point. You see what I'm saying? We're all in the same game. We may not have as much purchasing power as the big guys, but let's make no mistake. This is still player versus player. Even when there's AI involved, it's still player versus player. You see what I'm saying? So that's why these markets do what they do at the times that they do, every day at 9:30. Okay. Even on some Forex pairs, every day at 8:30, you'll see some sort of a push sometimes. Right? And there's not news. So these things, they all happen. And it's also why we have sessions. We have New York session. Why? Because we know that every session has a point where a lot of volume takes place. And what is that volume produced by? The banks moving the money. It's systematic. They trade at certain times, move around a certain amount because it's how they make their money. So it's consistent. So we have learned to identify some of the movements and we make strategies out of them. It's that simple. You see what I'm saying? K-Dot said 3R hit. So K-Dot, is this another 3R after your 4R? Because if you're up 7R today, that is wild. Shout out to you. Put some fire emojis in the chat for K-Dot, who is having a great day. Like I told you guys last week, he was down literally 3R while everybody else was crushing it. So show some love. That said, a market maker makes the market by offering prices at which they are willing to buy, bid, and sell. As currencies, when you place a trade, the market maker matches the trade by either selling to you or buying from you at the price that they have set. Okay. If you don't know what a market maker is, there you go. Okay, cool. Thank you for that, Dizer. Candle momentum, it's areas of interest which the price determines your trade. Okay, so I guess they're discussing that. I don't know. Oh, because I said you believe it. This is from Chat GPT, by the way. Okay. She's 7R damn. Yeah, show some love to K-Dot. Coming back to Dizer. Yeah, I was just saying, like, I understand what you're saying a market maker is, but you have to understand that if you believe, when I say you believe there's a market, I said, okay, so when you said, I said, so you believe there's a market maker, and I stopped because I was going to say, so you believe there's a market maker, but you don't think that there are other market participants. I know they're just, managing the transaction or whatever the case based on what ChatGPT told you or whatever you said. But the whole point is that if you believe that market makers are a thing, you should understand that there are other participants in the market who have other jobs and do other things as well. That was my whole point. It wasn't to say market maker is a theory or like, oh, you believe in a market maker. There's no such thing. It was just that I was saying that. So if you believe there's one participant, you should believe that there are others as well. Okay. So listen, Dizer, I'll say this very, as kindly to you as I can. I have no issues with you disagreeing. This is a free world and a free market. And I tell people all the time when I come on here that don't just take my word for these trades. Like I could say that price is going up. You might say it's going down and you could be right. Remember, I don't trade Forex. And two, I'm still a student in the game. I don't know everything. But I just want you to understand that we will have a difference of opinion sometimes, and that's totally fine. If you think that what I'm saying is not how it works, that's one thing. But don't put words in my mouth, all right? I didn't say that they are stop loss hunting or that they are trying to destroy your strategy or manipulate your strategy. I'm saying these things are by design, and they go for specific price points because one of the factors or points of data is that they can see where most people are positioned. And I'm not saying they can see that John's stop loss is at 1782. No, they can see. Look, I'll show you guys something right now, just so you guys understand, okay? Top step X, okay? I'm going to open this to show you guys real quick. You see this thing right here? Okay? You see these numbers at the side? What are those? Those are all the orders coming in at those price points. I don't need to be a super big guy, you see what I'm saying? Or a big bank or institution to see this information. You see what I'm saying? So look, when I scroll down, I can see the low of day. There's the price point for the low of day right there. Okay? So if I wanted to just put my price there to say when it comes there, I'm going to buy, I could do that. I would have to look at how many orders. Look at the volume. Look at the volume. Okay? Let me switch this real quick to center on current price. What's this? Auto center. No, I don't want it to auto center. I want to be able to show you guys. But anyways, I'm going to try and scroll up. You see all the different volume levels there? And these things, whenever I'm trading New York Open, you can see them start to build. You can start to see people have put 10 positions, 20, 50 positions. I'm telling you, this is player versus player. And I know you're saying that Forex is a little different, but I'm saying all to say that the big guys, they have this type of data. They can see where most people, look at all the volume that's been traded around these levels. Okay? So if I want to, oh gosh, see, now I just put a limit. But anyways, so good. So here's another area, right? When I scrolled up, I clicked here saying that it's the wrong place. Let me maybe move this. Man, I don't want to accidentally enter a cell. But you get my point, right? Let me just come off this real quick. You get my point. My whole point is that this information is out there. A lot of the players can see it. And even if they couldn't see your specific stop loss, they can see, where majority of the volume, orders, and stuff is at. That's the whole point. So, I don't know. Keda said, no, I lost 2 other trades, so I'm up 4. You're still up 5.5, bro. Shout out to you. Again, fire emojis in the chat for K-Dot, bro. He was down last week, and now he's up. Man, that's amazing. 2 minus 1R and 1 4R and 1 3R. Perfect. And then I just said, oh, all right. Okay, cool. So I hope we understand each other. Again, no hard feelings. I don't hate you. You know what I mean? I hope you come and join the next live. I have nothing against you. I just want us to understand each other. That's all. This is one big game, gents. Just get in and get your coins and get out. Exactly. I'll tell you like a Jamaican guy told me. He said, I came for the milk, not the cow. I'm not worried about all the other stuff that happens, with those things. That's why I don't talk about it. I just care that whenever I enter my strategy, I make money. That's why. That's all I care about. That's why I tell people, we make this joke all this time. There are some people who trade bats on the chart and they make money. And I always say, if you see 2 chickens headbutting each other on your chart and that works for you, trade it. As long as you make money, that's all that matters. Because that's what we're in here. I don't care. That's why, like, when people say, what do you think about ICT? I don't care about ICT. I have nothing against him. But whatever he's doing, ICT is making money. Whether it's by teaching or by trading, it is of no relevance to me. He's making money. I got to make my own. I got a wife and a family to take care of. So I got to make my own. See what I'm saying? So that's all that matters as well. I agree with that, Mozart. K-Dot said the 4-hour trade is still hovering around the final TP. Bro, I hope you hit TP, bro, because you said 20 minutes now. Yeah, that's tough. That's the hardest part about trading. I always say this. When your price is right close to, like really close to TP and it's hovering, everything you wants to close. Stay disciplined. If you start to see candle patterns like forming, it looks like it might reverse, you just hop out. Or maybe close majority and let the rest run and see what happens. Move your stops to break even. It's not financial advice, just a thought. That said, yes, all those orders could be from retail bank traders, people who exchange money when they're on the tour, other companies buying their own companies, and other companies are just people buying stuff from other countries. Yeah, regardless of where they're from, though, you get my point, right? There's still orders that you can see is on there. So even as a market participant, you can use that information to your advantage to make an educated guess. You see what I'm saying? Or prediction. You see what I'm saying? So that's all I'm really saying for that. All right. K dot said Euro USD is trailing. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna hop off in like 5 minutes, but I do want to look at some of the stuff you guys are looking at real quick. Guys, look what happened to SPX. Look what happened to SPX. This is nuts, bro. Let me take a quick look at NAS. And NAS did the same thing. So you remember I was telling you guys they do the same things, just one before the other? You see what I'm saying? So it's super crazy. Let me take a look at Euro USD real quick, because somebody said Euro USD was trolling. We're in this zone. Oh gosh, I got to take this off for you guys real quick. Well, let me take these off too. And then with this, what do we have this for? Oh, this zone. It's just a big area of support and resistance. Man. All right, let me just get rid of it just so we can have a clean chart. All right, so K dot said K dot said Euro USD is trolling. Bro, to be honest, the whole day is like this. Remember, we have FOMC at least 2 o'clock my time, which is going to be 3 hours from now. So prices, I kept telling you guys, it's going to be wonky. Now, remember I was telling you guys that it will usually kind of like consolidate. Like in the beginning, it looked like a lot of big, massive moves. But look, it's starting to be a period of consolidation. Right? Because now price is just moving in between this range. So price is ranging right now. It has, spiked down. But it's going to do this for a long time, up until very close to around FOMC. You might start to see some things change up because it's prepping itself for an expansion. You see what I'm saying? So you just have to kind of know the pair and know how to trade it. I'm very excited to do the Forex challenge series with you guys, where we're going to be trading Forex for like a month. I have the account already set up and everything. We're going to be doing that for like 30 days. We're going to see how it goes. I don't trade Forex, guys. So this is going to be a learning curve, and I'm going to be depending on you guys to kind of help me out. I think it's going to be so fun. We're going to make it a little interactive. We'll do an analysis together, and then as a group, we'll decide. Like I'll probably put a poll in the chat and say, okay, should we buy, should we sell, and like what the position or the sizing should be and stuff like that. I think it's going to be super fun, and who knows, maybe Forex might turn out to be something profitable for me as well. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. Shosho said, do you consider order flow and volume in your trading, or does market structure and poise trump these two? Oh, and position. Oh, point of interest. I'm sorry. Okay, point of interest. Okay, so does market structure and point of trump these two? Yeah, I don't really consider order flow or volume, to be quite honest. I know some people do. For me, because my technicals have been so consistent in a certain way, I just look at that. I used to have a checklist of like 15 different things I would check off before I took a trade. But as you're aware, it caused like analysis paralysis. So I limited my trade strategy essentially to 3 things. I look for a market direction. So I'm trying to see, are we overall bullish or bearish? Okay, we are overall bullish. Cool. Then I'm looking for a point of interest. That could be this zone. That could be that zone. It could be this zone. But I usually choose one that I'm interested in, right? So let's say it was this gap. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm waiting for price to return to this gap. I'm just going to go back just a little bit just so it can make sense. All right, so let's go back to here. I'm waiting for price to get to this gap, this one right here at the bottom. When price gets to this gap, I'm waiting for my pattern. That's it. So it's 3 things: market direction, a point of interest, and my entry signal. Okay, in this case, I didn't get it. I stayed out the trade, even though price was going to go in the direction I wanted. Okay, eventually would have taken us out as well. But that's my whole point, is that it's just 3 things for me. So I could add volume. I used to add this indicator. Let me show you guys this indicator real quick, actually. Now that I think it was Shosho that brought it up. Let me show you this indicator. I think you guys already know it. It's the volume profile. Where is it? There you go. So I used to use this indicator too, right? And look at this indicator. It tells you where most of the volume from the session has been. And sometimes I could use that in confluence with other areas and then take a buy, because I used to just do like supply and demand. So I try and find this that matches like a supply or demand zone. I would put a limit order there and then just stop loss be below a low or above a high. That's it. Okay, so I used to use, volume indicators and stuff like that. But I found like if your technicals are sound, it's more than enough. So to answer your question in a nutshell, I do not use volume. Point of interest and technicals trump that. That is correct. Mozart said, the live is the highlight of my morning. LOL, it got spicy today. We almost had a boxing match today. On the 1 minute. Drama sells, guys, bro. Drama sells. It's why, like, the more popular you get, the more problems you run into, and then you'll notice that as stressful as it can be for you as an individual, it really blows up your numbers because people love the spiciness of the drama, right? So I'm not a drama guy. I stay far away from drama. I don't really. And here's the other thing too. Like, when I say I don't care about what people think, I really don't care. That there's a certain threshold of requirements you have to meet before I even consider your opinion to be worth considering. You know what I mean? There are very few people that I look up to in this world. Like, I'm not one of those. I don't care. I always do my own thing and it works out for me. So if somebody disagrees with me or doesn't care, you're free to. The beauty of this world is, like, you didn't like what I say, you disagree, you say your two-piece, you're free to hop off. Hop off, go somewhere else, watch someone else. Don't listen to me. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't affect me. As long as we make money, that's all I care about. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Strictly trade support and resistance in candle momentum formation, hence my name on YouTube. There you go. And I love that. You guys, when I say the best traders that I know trade support and resistance and like what we consider retail patterns, I'm not lying to you. They're way better than me. And they don't have all these things that I'm looking at. They just have support and resistance and they catch really big moves. So shout out to you. Dizer said, what's the news indicator you have? It's right here, Dizer. I'll show you. I showed this yesterday as well. It's called News by 2 Degrees. That's their name right now, right there. So I think if you type up 2 degrees. Oh, yeah, there it is. This is the one. I have it. Live Economic Calendar by 2 Degrees. That's the name of the, it's called indicator. So screenshot that. Marcus, and that volume is just based on previous. It doesn't show current volume, so it's lagging indicator. Yeah, I found that out as well. There was another one that I was using too. It was a little bit better, but either way, it didn't really work the best. There was one that I was using that showed me. So I'll show you right now. I might as well. Okay, I had this other one. Where is it? Do I have to go? Okay, let me just add it again. Volume. All right, so I think it was either that or the one above it, the fixed price range or whatever. But basically, I had it set so that I could see. So this is what I would do. This is a perfect example. All right. So let's say it's, what time is it right now? This is Tuesday. It's too late. So let me just go to the 1 hour. And let's move it back to New York real quick. I'll get as close to New York as I can. Let's start at like 7. Okay. All right, cool. So you can see it's kind of forming in this session for Wednesday already. But what I would look at is the day before. So I would just look at the day before and say, okay, I can see here this area was a really strong area the day before. I start looking for things around it to see if it kind of lines up with what I'm looking at. And then let's say if it was this gap, which coincidentally enough, it points to this gap, I'd put a stop loss there, maybe, entry there, stop loss here, aim for 1 to 2. Okay, and then I would wait for price to get down to that level. And then eventually, as you can see, the price tap it? Not yet. Okay. We get taken out because we know what happened today, but that's what I would do. So some days this would be fire. I would catch the exact, tap into, shoot up. And then other days, just like what happened here, this would happen. I'm like, damn. Then what would happen is I would look at this and be like, maybe I should have used this one instead because look, all the volume was over here if I just sold. And I start to realize that the problem I had, let me just say this to you guys right now before I hop off. The biggest challenge I had with my trading, what actually turned my trading around, is not even the entry pattern. It's not even the point of interest. It's market structure. Once I could determine where we were in the market and where we're supposed to be going, it made me profitable. The reason why you guys are taking courses and learning strategies is not working is because you don't know where you are in the market. I'll give you an example. Let's go back 1 hour. Let's go random. Let's just go to a random date. Okay. And let me zoom into the 1 minute. Oh, I can't. Shoot. I forgot on the thing. I won't be able to do that. Okay. We'll do something like this. Okay. So let's just assume, I don't know. I mean, I can already kind of tell what's going on, but let's just assume you don't know where you're going. You're like, oh, okay, I see prices going up, right? So you want to start buying everywhere, or you want to start, maybe your strategy is when price gets to, let's try and put this in theory. When price gets to a certain level, okay, you want to start selling. Okay, so this is what you're going to do. You're going to hit sell here. Gosh, I can't do this. You're going to hit sell here. And right at these levels, every time price comes up here, you're going to sell. And every time price goes down to, let's say here, something, an area like here, you're gonna buy. Okay, this is just very simple. Just humor me for a second. Okay, just assume this is the strategy. It's based on, let's say, support and resistance. You just mark levels and you try to take trades there. Now, there's a good chance this will still work out to some degree because it's on a higher time frame. I wish I could do this on the 1 minute, but I went back too far, and I just want to prove the point before I hop off. All right, so we're gonna enter here for a trade. Let's see what happens. All right, so this case, excellent trade. We won this trade. We're gonna now buy when it gets here, and again, because this is a higher time frame, we might get some good trades. All right, let's see what happens if price does come back there. If not, we're going to. All right, cool. So the question is, how come this one won and this one failed? Market structure. Look at where we are. Okay, you can see from here, yes, we were going up. Okay, we were going up, but price started to make bearish structure. Tapped into here, started breaking lows. So this right here, this move, all the stuff you see here, this is all a retracement. So you can anticipate that somewhere up here, price is going to go down. Hence the move. This is market structure. It's the reason why this worked and this did not. If we were going the other way, this level would have been strong enough to get into. Now, you can also argue and say, well, the level you chose wasn't great, which is true. Maybe it would have been this one, right? As you can see, as soon as we get here, this one works. Okay, so let's see what happens there. And it takes us out again. Oh, would you look at that? So maybe it's not the level. Maybe it's not the level that works. Maybe it's just market structure. Okay, so once I started to understand that when I know the direction, this will make me more profitable, I just did that. I learned how to understand where we're going in the market, and it made my trading way better. So if you're following a strategy and you're like, man, sometimes it works really well. Like, in a case like this, if you held to the next zone, that's a 1 to 4. If you held to the bottoms, that's a 1 to 6, almost a 1 to 7. If you start to say, man, sometimes I'm catching like 1 to 7, sometimes I'm getting stopped out really badly. Market structure, ladies and gentlemen, once you can determine where you're going, where the market's supposed to go, you can catch excellent moves. Because in situations like this where the market's been going down and it's retracing, when it gets to the point that it wants to use to go down, it'll just fall. That's what I was telling you guys. If you ever see me trade live, if I get into a trade and it doesn't really go up right away, I get worried. On the way that it's been for me, when I'm right about the point of interest, when it gets in there, especially sells, it'll just plummet. It won't waste time. It'll just continue to fall. So that's all from, previous experience. You see what I'm saying? And this is from, look, this is on US 30, which is a predominantly bullish pair. And you can still catch really good sells because it's market structure. All right. Let's see. Mozart said, all men I think in here are sometimes our fighter spirit comes out. Yeah, bro. Like, listen, there are times where, like, it depends, right? Like, what bothers you? Sometimes it's ego. So there's two things I hate. I hate disrespect and I hate disloyalty. Like, if somebody, or is it disloyalty? I don't know what the word is, but I don't like disrespect and I don't like people who are not loyal. Right? So if you can do whatever you want, that's why, like, and I'm careful as to what I choose as disrespect. Like, so for example, what happened with Dizer, that's not disrespectful. If he started cussing me, that's disrespectful. But if you say, I don't agree with what you're saying, I think that you're incorrect, I can't be mad at that. That's a difference of opinion. But if Dizer starts saying stuff like, yeah, your mom, your dad, or you something disrespectful, then I get upset. Because what upsets me about disrespect is the person who's disrespecting me. That's the thing that kills me. When it's some, like, anyways, I'll just leave it at that. So I get what you're saying. Mozart's going to bring some stuff out of me. Marcus gave me the trophy. What's up, Marcus? Thank you. Kind of momentum said, all indicators lag. That's why I cleaned up my chart from them. Yeah, agreed. Okay, so you'll notice every time I come to trade in the morning, you'll see me do something like this. You'll see me say, all right, let me just take these indicators off real quick, right? Because they're just there to kind of help you understand what's going on, but you can't rely on them, man. I haven't found success in doing so. So I agree with you guys on that one there. Dizer said, thanks, I'm gonna need that. Don't like going to Forex Factory at all time. That's exactly why I have it. So I have that indicator there. I had the one for sessions so that when I'm back testing, I can tell, because I trade, Dizer, if you're still here, I trade from 8:30 to 11. But my session starts at 8 o'clock. I don't trade after 11. So I just mark up my session so that when I'm back testing, I can see. And when I started using this, it helped me to realize, oh, that's why I'm getting stopped out sometimes. Because when you're back testing without knowing what session you're in, you're just looking at your pattern, you're looking at structure, you'll find sometimes, again, it works, sometimes it doesn't. I started to realize that During my session, if I can target those moves or identify them, that's where the success rate or the win rate goes up. So that's another one that I use. I have another one here for the daily candle. This one right here, it literally tells me what the daily candle is on any time frame. So it doesn't matter what time frame I'm on, it'll tell me what the daily candle is doing. So I love it. So I have that one there. And I think the last one is 1 hour gaps. Just kind of gives me a good idea. If I see that price is forming a lot of bearish 1 hour gaps, I know we're really in a strong downtrend, right? So stuff like that. Marcus Adrian said facts 100%. 100, bro. Basic supply and demand using every level is like 20%. Remember, yeah, it's really low. You have to find some things for confluence that, man, it's supply and demand will teach you about yourself, man, because some zones are so amazing and some are terrible. And you have to ask yourself, why did this one work and this one did not? This is the thing that everybody's trying to figure out with supply and demand. Once you figure it out, you'll be incredibly profitable because they are trampoline zones when you find the right ones. Shosha said, interesting. Then I'll just remove volume from my chart, guys. Like Gary Dayton, who preached volume, but there's so much conflicting stuff. Proof is in the pudding. Yeah, bro, listen, Shosha, like I said, like Mozart said, I mean, you're joining the live, so I hope you're starting to learn. Every day I do an analysis on some pair. So as I'm doing an analysis, again, I'm not an expert or a teacher. I know some people are going to think I am because I'm on YouTube, but I'm not. I started this channel to show my journey. But long story short, as I'm marking up my chart stuff, just look for what I look for. Even though I don't trade support and resistance, even though I don't use liquidity, I still mark them out because they're factors that have proven to be significant areas that you shouldn't ignore. So for example, when I go onto my charts on US 30, you'll see me still mark out support and resistance zones. And then I'll look for my gaps. Okay, market structure is key. Follow the structure first. Okay, if we're ever on a live and you feel like you want to show, or you want me to show you how to analyze or figure out where we are, in the market, or if you have a pair and you can't tell what's going on, shoot it to me in the live. Everybody does it, and I'll analyze it and I'll tell you where I think it's going. And that way you can learn market structure. We teach things like how to confirm if this is a lower high or a lower low, right? Because sometimes, I'll give you an example. If price is right here, okay? So we've been making, and I'm going to be as simple as I can with this. Price went down, okay, made a lower low, went up, made a lower high, went down some more, didn't really break this, so we can still just say it's another low. Then it made us another lower high. Now we have a higher low and a higher high, okay? At this point that price is down here, is this a higher low, or are we going to get a higher high or a lower low? That's the question. And what I teach is that when price is there at this level where you see price is doing this, the only way you can tell if we're going to get a lower low, a higher low, or a higher high is if price breaks one of these levels. Either it breaks this high and gives us a higher high, or it breaks this low and gives us a lower low. Either way, right, we'll be able to determine what it is. So if price ends up going from here and breaks this, that will make this a lower high. Okay, if price ends up going like this and then going down, then this was actually just a lower low in the making. So it's little things like that that help you to identify, oh, okay, so when you're in a situation like this, you don't enter a trade if you think you're waiting for, one or the other, a lower low or higher high. You don't enter the trade and say, oh, this is the last low. No, wait for it to finish forming. Okay, so hopefully you'll be able to understand market structure and stuff as we're doing this. All right, so like I always say, welcome to the chat, welcome to the live, welcome to the family. We'll do our best to walk you through it. Not to mention, we have Marcus Adrian in here, we have Mozart in here, Candle Momentum, Bob FX, he's not here today, Abdul. We have, if you this chat and this Discord is full of people who catch better setups than me. Okay, the other day somebody was up 13%. Marcus, the other day he was in the live. He made what'd you make, Marcus? 3K? In the same time we were analyzing, he was out of his position. You see what I'm saying? We have great people in here. So as you can see, people are already responding to you. When you ask questions, people will help you out, man. So stick along. Stick along. Stay tuned, I guess. Stick along. Bro, I can't speak today. But long story short, stay here and do your best to learn, and you'll soak up as much knowledge as you can. And eventually you'll become a better trader. All right, we don't have a strategy we teach here as in this is the only way to trade. Everybody trades different. We just put our heads together, we analyze together. Somebody, look, I'll show you guys just if you haven't seen already. The other day we took this trade. I think it was Abdul who called this, or Bob FX, one of the two called this GBP CHF. We took this trade. This ended up being a 1-to-4. Okay, this was great. We took this trade that I called yesterday. This happened just this morning. Nope, wrong one. Sorry. As you can see, I have a lot of screenshots. just this morning. Where is it? I think it was this one. Oh, did I not take the picture, guys? You saw this morning I took the picture. Anyways, this trade was with Nas. This also ended up being on 1 to 4. This ended up hitting TP this morning. We took another one with somebody else's setup as well. I can't find it, but this was the picture that hit TP. Long story short, people put really sick setups in the trade, and sometimes we take them. You know what I mean? I don't trade Forex, but sometimes I put in some positions to see what's going on, and it's pretty cool. So I want to say stick along, but it doesn't make no sense to me. Stick around. There you go. Stick around, and you hopefully learn some things. Oh my gosh, bro. My English, as my uncle used to say, the English is not coming. Is not coming. All right. Moses said, wait a minute. Let me rewind. What's the news indicator again? Oh, yeah. So it's this one here. I don't know if you ended up seeing it, but it's news. Okay. The actual name for it is right here. I'll find it for you. Where's the about? There you go. This is the name. Live Economy Calendar by 2 Degrees. Screenshot this. Okay. Or you know what? Let me screenshot it for you because you're in the Discord. So I'll send this to you after. All right. That's the indicator. Candleman said, I meant as me and indicators developed a bad relationship. That's how I feel about gold, bro. Gold ruined my life. Oh, man. That's hilarious. Yeah. Indicators have led me astray quite a bit as well. Dad just say, yeah, I have a session tool too. I only trade beginning of London and New York. Oh, nice. I used to trade London as well. As you can imagine, that didn't last long. It was just so difficult to stay up to trade that and then have to work the same day, right? It was really brutal. What indicator is that, by the way? Or is it this one or use a different session one? Mozart said, I had the EU trade that went 105 pips in a few days. Lovely. That's what's up. The English is not coming. LOL. Oh, Hart is in here, baby. What's good, Hart? What's good? Welcome back to the chat, the live. Yeah, man, the English is not coming, bro. It's just one of those days where my brain is sticking, as we would call it. We had a friend in high school. His name, we used to call him Brain Freeze because you would tell him a joke. Like, so let's say I told you guys a joke right now. I'll just use a stupid joke. Why did the chicken cross the road? Get to the other side. Okay, ha ha ha. Let's say it's super funny, right? So his name was Daniel. He'd be like, oh, okay. And then like, yo, an hour later, he'd come running into your room. Yo, I get it. I get it. You're like, bro, what is wrong with this guy? So we used to call him Brain Freeze because he never, like, his brain just would never connect when you would tell him stuff like that, bro. The guy was different. Shout out to Daniel. But yeah, so that trade on EU was pretty fire. Post it in the Discord so we can take a look at it later. Guys, you can't say I don't love you guys. I've been here till 11:33 today. I'm half an hour past my cutoff time, bro. It's super crazy. All right. I'm leaving in about 5 or 6 days for a vacation. I'll be gone for about a week, but I'll try and have some stuff going so that you guys can watch and do some things while I'm away. I'm just going to read the next couple of chats and I'll probably call it from here. Hart said, good to be back. That's what's up. Dizer said, it's called Shuzik Sessions. Okay, I'm going to check it out in 1 second. Camel Momentum, I learned the market on gold. I wanted the concept of swimming. Jump in the deep and learn to swim. Got you. Yeah, gold is, yo, listen, if you can trade gold, you're gonna be incredibly, like, it's a very fast, rapid moving pair, and it makes you a lot of money. Like if I take a 0.01 on gold, I can still, depending on the move, I can still make a decent amount of money. Gold is just one of those. You know what I mean? FC Mozart says, stick around, fam. Def don't want to be walking around saying stick again. Yeah, don't run around telling people, yeah, bro, so stick again. You know, stick again. They're gonna be like, bro, all right, yo, back up a little bit, right? That's yo, bro, your lives have been helpful, no cap. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I started this again just because when I started, I didn't really have a community or forum or anything to go into. Everywhere I went was more like from what I've seen on YouTube, was more like a dictatorship. You'd get in there and people would be like, you know, so this is the way, all right, guys? You want to make sure as soon as you get the break, that's the place to go. And then somebody would ask, so do I go on the break on the low? And the guy would be like, guys, you got to listen, okay? I've said this multiple times. When you break the high, that's when you want to say, holy smokes, bro, calm down. Like, chill on the Red Bulls, right? So not the most helpful. You get places where, like, you see what happened this morning with Dizer, where Dizer had a difference of opinion. He'd be banned. They would just ban him. He wouldn't be able to say what he wants to say. They would ban him. No discourse, no communication, nothing, right? I get it. If somebody starts saying, like, some racist, crazy stuff, you know what I mean? Sure. But if someone has a difference of opinion or ask a question, you should let the person ask a question. So what I end up finding was that a lot of these lives and chat rooms and all stuff, it's almost like they worship the leader in there. They just take everything the person says at like face value, and everything is like my way or the highway. It wasn't constructed, because I'm a type of person, like I said earlier, I don't care what people say. I don't care what people are doing. If everybody is selling hair and I feel like to buy, I'll buy. I don't care. That's me. I got to this point in my life by doing what I found was best for me and based on what I felt God was leading me to do. Nothing else. Nothing else. I'm not going to do stuff based on what people are doing. You know what I mean? So, and you guys should have the same mindset. Don't follow people because you think they're amazing. Just no matter what you see, take it with a grain of salt and analyze it for yourself, because sometimes we make mistakes. There are times where I didn't see, oh shoot, there was this level there was this gap, there was this thing there, I didn't see this other factor, and I make mistakes. All right, so people make mistakes as well. Learn for yourself. That's why I'm doing this, so that people can learn for themselves how to trade, at least on the fundamental level. Professor said, ha ha ha, it's not stick again, guys. Yeah, it's stick around. Okay, stick around. It is not stick again. It is stick around. Candom said, I had a strat with gold, enter trade, pop my pen 10 times, get out. Sheesh. Oh my gosh. I want to say something I saw the other day, but I'm just going to leave it at that. Hard affects the truth. So yeah, guys, if it's been helpful, I appreciate it. All I ask you guys to do is just to like the video. It just helps with the algorithm, obviously, but I'm going to be doing this every day. And Heart, and those of you guys who came late, I have 2 accounts with the Forex Funder. One is 100K, the other one is 10K. The 100K is the one I'm doing the series on, but the 10K, I've been throwing the most dumb, like YOLO type positions in there. So I didn't care. I won it on a giveaway. I didn't buy that one. So I'm actually going to be using that one there to do the Forex challenge that we're going to do. So guys, let me know in the Discord, or maybe the next live, I'm going to promote it, and we will decide which pairs we're going to trade. But I'm going to ask for your participation at the time. It's going to be fire. Last but not least, we are also going to be opening up. People have been asking for one-on-one sessions and stuff like that. So we're going to be opening up a channel for there where you guys can call. We can have one-on-one sessions and all that stuff. And then the mod, the Discord mod brought up an idea about, what's it called? Doing a, he said kind of like a war room thing. And before you start running away, it's not one of those like pay 6K a month to be there. It's more so like a place where we can discuss strategies. We already have a place where we're talking about strategies and setups, but he wants us to do more of like a focused group type thing where it's not going to be paid, by the way. It's going to be free, but it's just going to be a place where we talk about specific things and kind of like maybe move as a unit in that regard. So that's why he wanted to call it the war room. We're thinking about that as well. So stay tuned. Join the Discord if you haven't, guys. It's going to get lit. I'm going to have lots of fun. But unfortunately, my time has, let me be African a little bit. My time has expired. It has expired. So therefore, I'm out of time. Okay. Or as my one guy used to say, time is now fast spent. Therefore, we must be getting on. Time is far spent. So I'm going to have to call it, guys. I love chilling with you guys, but I have a lot to do. And because I'm leaving for a week, I have so much to set up, put out there already before I leave. So I got to get to work. With that being said, thank you guys. Kind of Moments said, thanks for the live money. You the man, keep it up. I appreciate you, Kendall. You the man as well. All you guys are the man or the woman if you're a female in here. I appreciate all of you guys. This is not possible without you guys. So I love each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace. Y'all have a blessed day.